Hello, everybody. Oliver here, and I'm about to hop on a very powerful live here where I'm going to go over 5 of the most common spiritual gifts that you might actually have. I'm going to go over what they are, how they work, and all that good stuff. All right. And this was one of the lessons that I did in my last certification program that everybody loved. So I'm going to share it with you guys here. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to wait for people to pop on here because I know sometimes it takes a while for Facebook to notify everybody of a live program. So let's see. Looks like people are joining here. All right. For the people that are here, just comment in yes and yes if you guys can see this video and hear me fine. Okay. Yes and yes. So we can get that rolling. All right. So a lot of hearts. Perfect. Okay, so for everyone that's joining in here in this live video, I'm going to go over the 5 common gifts, spiritual gifts that you might have, and also letting you guys know that if you wanted to be a healer, so you can heal yourself or others and use this to for a force of good. We do have a certification program, and the registration actually ends tomorrow. So for more information, go ahead and message Holly. I tagged her in this post. You're going to see, if you're watching this live on Facebook, you're going to see her name tag here. If you're seeing this on a website later down the road, there's a button there to get in touch with her. All right. Perfect. So let's get started. All right. So there's obviously dozens and dozens and dozens of gifts out there. And today I'm going to focus on the 5 most common ones that I've seen over and over again. And typically I don't do this with when I go do my events. I've been doing quite a lot for the last year or two, and typically I do not reveal a lot of people's gifts because it's just one of the things that I gotta tune in. I gotta know if it's for the highest good for somebody to know their gifts. Like sometimes when you know your gift, it can cost you great fulfillment and joy, or it can cost you just a lot of worry. So I got to make sure it's in my highest responsibility. Just because I can tap in and figure out what someone's gifts are doesn't mean I can let them know. I can activate them for sure, whatever's supposed to be activated. But for the most part, I check, right? I scan. And in the last group that I just did a workshop in Sedona, I scanned and it told me that it was okay. Highest good told me it was okay for me to let people in the room know what their gifts are. Right, so I did that, and it was spot on, 100%. Right, people loved it. So what I'm gonna do in this, I don't have the time to do that here. That's something that I need to do in a very I need to see you kind of setting to tap in. But for the sake of this training, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over the 5 types of gifts that I shared with the room, right? And the thing with these gifts is you can have one. You can have multiple, you can have them all. And for some of you, you might have some that are more dominant, some that are more kind of dormant, that can actually build itself later down the road and awaken. But there's lots of these gifts that are there just waiting to be activated, okay? So let's start off with the first one. The first gift that is available that I've seen a lot, it runs in my family, it runs a lot of my sisters, a lot of my friends have it, is the gift called channeling. And channeling is you are either channeling information, divine information flowing through you, or you're channeling divine energy that's flowing through you that you can use to help people or, just gather that information and make the world a better place. So with channels, it's very interesting because sometimes they just know things. You're just walking or talking to somebody, all of a sudden something comes in and they're just saying something, and the next thing you know, everybody around them is like, wow, that's so profound. That's, if you're younger and you do this, you're like such an old soul. You have so much wisdom, and you're like, I don't know what I said. It just comes in. Or sometimes you're just drawing stuff and you're drawing things and you don't know what you're drawing, but it's sacred, either symbols and shapes and geometry, or sometimes it might just be you're just writing stuff and you don't know where it's coming from, but you just keep on writing. But this is channeling information. So a lot of it is, that's one of the gifts that's out there, is your channel for divine wisdom and divine knowledge. Now with channels, it's very important that you actually set parameters, right? Because the thing is, when you're as a channel, you can channel anything, right? So a lot of the times when you're channeling, it's important to set up parameters of like, I only want to channel beings of love and light, and for the highest good of all, right? And do that, because a lot of times channels don't know that they are channels, and in order for them to tune it out, like, I mean, they escape to a lot of different things, right? Whether it's eating or alcohol or drugs to use to escape the channeling ability, because if you do that too much, it shuts it off, right? And that's one of the things that's common within a lot of channels. So with channels too, if you are not ready to activate your gift, or let's say you're going throughout the day and you're like, I don't want to channel throughout the day, I want to have peace of mind and just go on my day, you can set parameters of like, you know what, I'm a closed channel right now. Any messages can come through dream form later down the road. But channels, extremely, 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 just sensitive to vibration and frequency, and it holds you to a higher level of integrity. That because the thing is, you are, as a channel, you're tuning in to different informations and energies, and a lot of it is also based on your personal frequency and vibration. So if you are vibing high, then you're going to be tuned into those that are on that higher frequency, and when you're vibing low, all that is available to you. So yeah, channel, definitely a gift. A lot of people that don't know their channels are overwhelmed earlier on when they're younger. They try to escape it, only to find out that it's something that's absolutely necessary and important in their lives. And when they turn their channeling ability off, they turn their light off, like a slew of problems just come their way, and darkness happens. And then later down the road, when they accept the gift and they embrace it, and they just really love themselves for it, let it flow, then all of a sudden just life starts happening for them. It's that connection, it's that ability that allows them to manifest quicker. Okay, that's where a lot of your powers are, is in your natural gifts, right? Another question here that I have, I'm looking real quick, is could you activate me? We do activations actually in our energy healing programs. That's when we do them live and in person, and also remote. And it was an amazing experience actually for a lot of people that have gone through there, because they all felt different things, and they are able to feel energy or do energy activate healings on people and receive them. And it's just it's a very it's an amazing thing. And that's one of the things that we do in our certification program. So if you're interested, message Holly. If you're watching this on Facebook, she's tagged here. If it's on a website, the button there will get you in touch with Holly. Okay, now let's on to the second gift that we have. The second gift that I've seen out there is transmuters. Okay, now this can go hand in hand with empaths, but there's another part to it. So transmuters are people that they clean energy, they recycle it. That's what they do naturally, unconsciously, whether they like it or not. They're doing that. They're either doing that for one person, they're doing that for a room, they're doing that for a city, or for some people, they're very, 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 very highly advanced, where they do it for the entire world, and it can be difficult, right? So it's one of the things to where when you meet people, you absorb their energy and you clean it out. You absorb it and you clean it out, and that's why a lot of times when people are around you, they're around you, and they're they want to be, you've noticed earlier on in your life that people just want to be around you, and whether or not you say something, or you're saying something profound, or you're just around them, when they leave lighter, and they leave feeling better than before. And that's why they want to be around your light, they want to be around your energy, because you lift them up naturally. Now, for the most part, there are times when you leave that interaction, and you're like, that was good. But a lot of times you leave that interaction feeling overwhelmed, worse than you did than when you came there. And that's because you've absorbed and taken on all their stuff. All right. So you're actually clearing it. Now with transmuters, there's a lot of different things that you should be doing to support your transmutation ability. One of them, there's several, but I'll give you one. One of them is to have your alone time. Alone time during the day is super duper important. Because when you're alone, away from technology, away from people, away from everything, and you're in your, whether you're in nature, whether you're by the beach, whether you're just by yourself, whether you're just in a room meditating or doing by yourself, undisturbed, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, doesn't matter, but you're scheduling alone time for yourself. What ends up happening is you're connecting to a higher power, to a higher source that helps you transmute all the leftover energy that you weren't able to transmute. And by that, and the connection with that source also helps you become a better transmuter. So it supports you, it feeds you with that energy so you can transmute better, quicker, more efficiently, and not draining your energy. So a lot of times I meet a lot of transmuters, their energies are so drained, and they have a lot of people that were dark in their lives, and they're always wondering, why do people who are dysfunctional or broken or dark always find me, and they want my light, and they help others, so there's nothing left to give. And that's because they're not supporting transmutation is a very powerful, very special gift. And that's one of the things to where you've got to support yourself. You got to know how to support yourself through like just alone time is one of them. Okay. And that's the thing with the live workshops that we do in Sedona and the certification program. When we do the activation, what ends up happening is part of that entire program is not only do we activate your gifts that are there, that are dormant, or maybe gifts that you've turned off, and it gets activated, and I teach you how to use them so you're in full control of them. Because in my experience, when you have control of your gift, because a lot of the pain happens when you don't have control of your gift. It's overwhelming, you're absorbing, you can't make sense of it, and it's happening randomly, and you just don't know how to control it, so it controls your life. It drives you nuts, you're overwhelmed, you feel lost, and you go from zero to like hit by a train, feeling emotionally in no time. And the way to really get over that is to learn how to use your gifts. Because here's the thing, okay? You were born perfect, right? You really were born perfect. You were born with a mission, a purpose in this lifetime that you're supposed to do, right? And you were also given all the tools, all the gifts to best support you through your journey, right? And a lot of the times it's when we forget our gifts and forget our purpose work that we really don't have the tools to achieve what we're here to do, what we're meant to do. So it's in the picking up and relearning and mastering our gifts that it becomes easy. Life becomes easy because higher power, God, universe, whatever you believe in, divine, supports those who support the world. You are immensely supported. It doesn't make sense that you're doing God's work, divine's work, higher power work, and you're not supported, right? You are. You just can't be using your logic through it. You got to use your gifts, your energetic gifts that you were given, you were born with, that can either turn down, turned off, that are dormant. They need to be activated. You need to know how to use them, and you need to be able to follow your purpose work, do what you're here to do, and that will elevate you. That will put you on a frequency to where problems disappear, people can't touch you, negativity doesn't affect you. You affect negativity. You can, when you're walking into a crowded mall, you're not worried about, whoa, what's going to affect me? You're so in tune with your gifts. You're such in alignment. You're such in a higher frequency that, it's kind of like, think about it as a car, and there's a dead battery, right? There's dead battery here, and there's a car here with, it has full battery. This full battery here can charge this dead battery and bring life into it, right? Or this battery here can drain that battery, right? And both of them lose its battery. That's possible, but for the most part, if this battery is strong enough and charged enough, it will bring this back to life. And that's what you can be. You can be that charged battery to where people that are in pain, in darkness, that are totally negative, you can charge it and turn it around. Okay, and that's something again that we do. That's why, I created this 30-day program initially, was to give people the chance to at least do the clearing and healing of themselves from the comfort of their home. And if people want to take it to the next level, they want to learn more advanced healing, methodologies and techniques that they can do for themselves, they can do for others, they can do when people are in front of them, they can do where people are remote, away from them. They can, and then they also want to learn how to activate more of their gifts and step more of their greatness and their purpose. I created this 8-week certification program where if you can, one portion of it is we can meet live. Like we have a few days where we meet in Sedona, hands-on practice, and we had a lot. I just finished doing that, so a lot of people came in there, and we had 100% success rate. Everybody felt energy. Everybody was able to participate with the healings, give and receive, and it changed a lot of lives. And for people that weren't able to make it, guess what? We had a remote portion of it, right? Where they were from, because not everybody could fly. Some of them were, we had people in that room. Some people were from Dubai, from Canada, from Sweden, from Hong Kong. So we had a lot of people in the room that were able to make it, but there's some, there were about close to 20 that weren't able to make it. So we had to do it remote. And guess what? Everybody that showed up in the remote, because I do the activation and the clearing remotely, and we did it through Zoom. I could see them. I could interact with them still, even though they weren't face-to-face. I can interact with them. And since it's energy work that I'm doing, I know the sacred geometry to use so that it could be like I'm in front of a person doing energetic work on them. So I used that, and guess what? Everybody there felt the effects of the activation, some of them for days, some of them for weeks, some of them it's still ongoing. Then afterwards, I taught them how to do the clearings and the healings on other people remotely, and they did it with their accountability partner for the first time, and then vice versa, and they both experienced results. Right? That's how powerful this is. We perfected it so that even if you can't be in front of us in Sedona, Arizona, where we do these workshops, that's the power of sacred geometry. Like you can use that to bend time, to magnify the healing powers, to be able to do it so potent and so powerfully that it's like the person is right in front of you, all that, right? So our remote program, high success rate. People are raving about it, and the same results as people that showed up live. And the people that actually showed up live, we recorded the portion of that, the lectures, and we shared that with people that were in the remote program. So pretty much they got the lecture part, okay, and they got the activation and healing from me remotely, and we've been able to figure out how to activate people's gifts and do healings in person and remotely as well. So you're not missing out. So either option is works. And if you're interested, we're actually registration for that actually closes tomorrow. So go ahead, if you're watching this on Facebook, message Holly Wynn. I tagged her here, or if you're just on the website, click the link below. It should message her on Facebook, right? So let's go on to the next gifts. The third one that I shared in the event was, I give this a broad category of like psychic. I just put them in that bucket, psychic. And this is where you can feel things, you get messages, you have dreams, you have visions, you just know the future. You know by knowing, when you see it, when you have a feeling, like, or you have it through a dream, but you can see, right? And this is something that sometimes, like, for people, they turn it off because it's scary. They don't want to know what they know. They don't want to have that responsibility. They just want to get it out of their head. So they escape, they turn it off. But the thing is, this gift is what's going to guide them in life. Like, these gifts were given to you to help you do what you're supposed to do. And yeah, you weren't born with an instruction manual on your gifts and how to use them. So the very big, and chances are, if you're like me, you weren't born into a family where your parents taught you, okay, here's how to use your gifts, A, B, C, you can do this and that. No. So they come out in weird times, in weird ways, in intense ways, and sometimes maybe even perceivably scary ways to you as a kid or growing up, to where you had a negative association with it, and it's just too much. You've had enough. You shove it down, turn it off, and next thing you know, that's your spiritual GPS, navigation system. Next thing you know, you're now driving and navigating through life blindfolded. Okay? Blindfolded because your energetic abilities, your gifts are muted, turned off, and you aren't able to use them, right? So the key in all of this is to be able, and that's one of the things that we do throughout the 8-week certification course, is a lot of the times, one of the biggest things you can do for your gifts is to remove a lot of the program fear that's stopping you from using them from your head and your heart and your energetic system, and removing them. Because there's a lot that you might not know that's been programmed into you that's blocking you from accessing your full potential and your gifts. Maybe it's fear, right? And fear because people who raised you or around you didn't know what it was, or people that you had a bad experience, or it's a fear of the unknown, or fear in society of like, is this witchcraft or voodoo or woo or whatever, program fear they had, with the gifts. And it's what it does is that this empowers you, cuts you on the knees energetically, and you really cannot thrive in life if you don't accept all of you energetically, and it cascades to all of you emotionally, and all of you in general, right? So that's one of the things. And the fourth gift that I wanted to share with you today is the gift of hands-on body healing. Now, there's healing that we do to where we're healing people remote. We don't even need to be in front of them, but there are some people that are hands-on healers to where they touch people, and their touch naturally can make people feel better emotionally or physically. And we've got people like that I've met, a lot that I've activated, they're just from an earlier age. They've always had that ability. They can touch, they can make people feel good, and either are masseuses or they or even if they're nurses, or if they're not masseuses or nurses, they're just people in general. I go through life, and every time they touch people, people feel better. And this can be cultivated, this can be activated, this can be fine-tuned, so that once you're doing hands-on healing on people, you don't absorb all of their stuff, because you tend to do a lot of that stuff when you're doing hands-on healing. And also to be able to do it more powerfully, to where when you're doing the healing, you're not using your life force energy, you're not using your own energy to do it. You are actually facilitating and using higher power and sacred geometry to magnify the energy, to make it to where it's 10 times more powerful without you draining or using any of your own personal energy. Okay, is that a baby in the background? Is that a baby in the background? Look at this baby. A little intermission over here. Hey, hi. You give that a
He
kiss?
crashed my life.
Are you gonna make a appearance in my life too? Are you gonna do a dance?
Ang
Okay.
kulit tong bata ko.
All right, a little intermission over there. All right. So I'm going to pause real quick to answer a few questions here that I can see. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm on day 3 of both of yours and Mandy's programs. I know this is finally what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. I want to go to Sedona live. I'm here in Arizona. Yay! Perfect. Caring for my mom who's going through cancer. So this is not a coincidence. It is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Thank you both, from a place inside of me I didn't even know was in me. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. All right. See here. Yep, Mandy just said something in Tagalog. Yeah, she's hearing our 8-year-old Brayden learning some words from aunties and grandma, and she's through immersion, because that little kid says it 10,000 times a day. Gets in your head, right? Perfect. All right. So that's the hands-on healing part. And the last one that I'm gonna, again, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of this. I mean, your mind will explode with how many different gifts there are out there. But the last one I'm going to share today is Akashic Records, right? So Akashic Records are people that are able to tap in to divine knowledge, all right, where they can see almost everything: past lives, future lives, catastrophes, life, death, any kind of sacred knowledge, healing, everything, right? So they're able to tap into that naturally, and it comes to them. And so I met people that have come to my workshops that, they literally would know the day before, they're like, oh, there's going to be a fire, an earthquake here, and they would see it in the newspaper, and it would happen several times in the span of a few months, that they would get shocked or afraid that they will just turn that gift off and it's gone, right? Or at least muted. And it happens to them too, where they see people and they know what's wrong with them. They know if there's someone sick. They know pretty much, they know life and death, right? And again, this is one of the things to where it's a very, very tough gift for a lot of people. They don't know how to make use of it, but there's a lot of other benefits to having that gift. You can figure out what people's gifts are. You can figure out what their purpose work is. What the purpose work is, and how to help them, how to facilitate them. Like, you can be a catalyst and force for change if you use that gift for the highest good. And there's several, because a lot of times when people hear about that gift, they only hear the dark or difficult sides of that gift. But there's a plethora of another world, another universe of amazing beauty in that gift that is underutilized. And a lot of this is like, when it comes to knowing your gifts, here's me and Mandy talk about it all the time. It's love and light. Love and light. Light is information, and love is a lubricant of light, right? If you want more information, you have to have more love in your heart. Because the thing is, you can see this happen all the time. Like, people that hear things that are either conspiracy theories or just hard to hear, and they're ruminating in fear. There's not a lot of love in their hearts. They end up in the cabin, like away from everybody else, with guns, worrying if people are going to get them. And it's no judgment, love to all, but that's just not a way to live life, ruminating in a lot of fear and worry and anxiety and darkness, right? But had that same information come through, and you had a lot of love in your heart, you had a lot of love, then it would have been translated in a different way, in a way where it could have been grounded to where now you can think of ways of how do you solve that issue instead of it affecting you. You have to run away and be nervous all the time, right? So love, so key. And that's why a lot of this whole 8-week certification program, love is embedded in every single step to make sure that when you guys know what your gifts are, when it's activated within you, and it's when you guys are doing the healing and you're changing lives and you're just making a difference and you're healing things within yourself that affects everybody around you and your family, and it makes a change moving forward and sideways, and you start helping others, and because you've healed from it, and you become a walking embodiment and a prototype for humanity of somebody that's healed it for themselves. And now everywhere you go, you're vibrating that frequency, that new frequency, that whole and healed frequency, that just by living your day-to-day life, walking in the grocery, walking in the mall, meeting people, just by them interacting in your energetic field, they shift, they get uplifted, they start to heal, because life is an energetic game. It really is. Yeah, I'm saying stuff. Yeah, I am pouring a lot of knowledge, but ultimately, behind the scenes, I'm energetically working on uplifting a lot of you guys that are watching this. And the same thing goes for you. I mean, you've seen this happen. You've probably even been this in the past, to where if you are embodying such a high state, such high frequency, no negativity around you can last. It will shift, it will stop, you'll transmute it, you will transcend it, you will lift it up, and you'll make things better. You will be a force for good in the world. You will cause a chain of change, not running away, worried, hiding, anxious, overwhelmed, lost, and not knowing what to do with your gifts. You can do that for yourselves. Okay, and love is key, and so is the information. It's a balance, love and light, right? And that's super important. All right, let's see there's some questions here. What is the geometry in your shirt? Metatron's cube, one of my favorite geometries. Let's see here. Thanks for inviting. All right. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, it's mission number 2. Come on, baby. It's my son, Brayden. Extreme transmuter over here.
I'm ready to play Xbox for 30 minutes.
Oh, my. Okay, are you a transmuter, though?
Yeah.
Remember when you remember when you're in Sedona and you absorb a lot of energy from a lot of people that you met?
Mhm.
What do you do to clear them?
I meditated.
What else do you do?
I used my power.
Yeah, and did helping out and working out also help?
Yeah.
Did you cut cords too?
Yeah, and I ran outside and ran around.
Yeah.
And how do you connect the Xbox?
I'll do it in a bit, baby. Love you.
Are you almost done?
Almost soon.
How many more minutes?
Maybe 10 to 15. So, little transmuter over here, okay? Super, super, super transmuter, and you can tell the difference. I know it every single time when you go do a workshop, either mine or Mandy's, and naturally there's a lot of people that are releasing, right? And if we're serving, we're naturally protected because we're in a high frequency door where a lot of that stuff doesn't affect us. Him and people on the back, not so much, because they're listening, and they are now transmuting for the room, empathically absorbing for the room, and all this good stuff, right? So, like, as a transmuter and empath, I kind of showed him some techniques that work for him that kids can understand, and it works, right? And that solved a lot of issues. A lot of the behavioral problems that we thought were just behavioral problems magically disappeared when we addressed it from an empath, energetic transmuter perspective versus just like something psychological, right? And energy plays such a big role. So here is my invitation to you if you're watching this, all right? My invitation is join us in this 8-week certification healing program and see what life is all about. See what can unfold for you. Because, like, if you are loving your life right now, right, chances are it's like you're like 2 to 3% of your potential, of your capability as a human being. And there's a lot of other gifts that are waiting to be activated, that are waiting to unfold for you. And these gifts help you with your purpose work. It speeds things up. In my experience, when it comes to abundance or just like peace of mind or fulfillment, when I try to chase it with my logical mind, oh, let me do this project, let me start this business, let me accomplish this, let me do this, let me do that. When I chase it with my logical mind, everything was longer, took a lot of time, it was harder, it was much more of a grind. I had to push for it to happen. I mean, it was just more work. And then when I put all of that aside and I'm like, you know what? Let's figure this out on an energetic level. And that's when I started setting intention to discover my gifts and to activate them and to master them, right? And once I focused on that, and once the gifts started to activate and I had more control and I started using them on a daily basis, life started happening for me. Abundance showed up, like, in all areas of my life. Healing occurred, like, pretty much shifting all the time. People that in my family that I thought, like, I've tried in the past to save, to shift, to help for the longest time, wouldn't. And when I started working on my gifts and on myself and learning some methodologies, even if I wasn't talking to them, I wasn't even near them, it would start shifting. When they did one before, improvements would happen. Like, it would have a ripple effect just beyond me. So in my experience, like, discovering your gifts, activating them, and stepping into your purpose work is the one thing that changes everything. It has a ripple effect. It changes everything in your reality. And it's, in my experience, the fast path, the fastest path from where you are to where you want to be. Because the thing is, you put in this world to do your purpose work, right? And you're born with the gifts to help to help you get there, or to help. These are the tools that you need to actually accomplish your purpose work, right? And with the universe and God and high power like guiding you, it would only make sense that once you have your gifts, like, and you hear what you're supposed to do, you're supported. And when you're not, wake up calls happen, experiences happen to wake you up, to shake you up, to remind you to, hello, wake up. You came here to do something big, something special. Yes, you, not somebody else, you, right? You are here to do something special. You were born with the gifts. You need to learn how to use them, and you should use them for a force of good. Wake up now, because the life that's waiting for you is literally an energetic shift away, right? And it's that, so the intention, activate your gifts, master them, and in that frequency, everything you want is there. Fulfillment, abundance, joy, healing, growing, everything you can think of. And we have a lot of case studies and stories of people from all over the world that they have the same story. Once their gifts are activated, the level of fulfillment that comes from them being able to use it for a force of good to heal themselves and others is just like, you just can't put a price on it. It's just not comparable to anything that's ever brought any fulfillment monetarily in this world, right? So my invitation to you is this: if you are watching this and you're thinking to yourself, I want to learn, I want to dive deeper, I want to activate my gifts, I invite you to go ahead and join us in this 8-week certification program, right? We will learn how to activate your gifts. We'll remove all the energetic blocks that's stopping you. I'm going to show you how to do this for yourself and others. Energetic blocks that's stopping you from the life that you want, either abundance in your wealth, health, relationships, fulfillment. Show you how to manage your energy so you have more peace of mind and you know what to do around negativity, whether it's like from yourself, from programming from the past, from your environment, people around you, how to deal with that, how to elevate your energy levels and stay protected throughout the day, how to remove a lot of energetic trauma and toxins that's embedded deep into your energetic body. Not just the auric field, right? Not just the chakras, not just the your just energetic, like all your energetic body down to the cellular level, deep cellular level cleansing energetically. And some of those programmings are not even yours. Some of them might be passed down generationally. Some of them might have occurred because there was a trauma that happened earlier on in your childhood, or maybe you're between ages 3 or 7, or maybe you're going through you were 7 to 10 or high school or college. What ends up happening is when it can happen in different ways. It can be unspoken. You can be around somebody, you absorb it, boom, it's in your body energetically. Trauma could happen, heartbreak, rejection, or anything that's hurtful, and it's stuck in your body. Somebody says something that's limiting belief, stuck in your ear, right? And what ends up happening is, these energies affect us mentally, emotionally, and we work typically in society. We work through all the mental trauma of it, or the physical trauma of it, or the emotional trauma of it. But what we forget to work on is the energetic effect. But because there's energetic imprints. And the thing is, it happens, guess what? It creates energetic patterns to where, you might have healed mentally and emotionally and physically from it. But if the energetic patterns are there, then it keeps attracting that same situation energetically, and it manifests that in reality, in physical reality. And that's why it's important, if you want to heal yourself, make a lasting change, and doing it for other people as well. Because once you heal yourself, you're going to start seeing energetically, you're going to start seeing you impact others, on your friends, your family, your people that you meet, on a grander level than you can ever think of, okay? And the way to do that is to be able to clear away a lot of these energetic patterns, some of which might have been stuck since you were a kid. Remove them like an empty glass with dirty water, throw them, replenish them with like something that's pure, more divine, more you, and then life starts to happen for you, not to you. Right? It's an amazing, I've heard so much feedback, so much stories of healing from people that have been a part of it. And it's just one of the things that I highly recommend. If you feel called, here's what I recommend. If you feel called to do this, don't think of the how, just set the intention of for the highest good of all, make it happen. And you'll see that the world and the universe will pretty much mold and bend to deliver this to you, right? If you set an intention for the highest good of all, it can be no other way. So that's about it. I wanted to end on that note, and just know, for you guys that are watching this, we're actually ending the registration tomorrow. Okay, and if you're interested, watching this on Facebook, go ahead and message Holly Wynn. I tagged her here. Click there to message her. Or if you're watching this on the website, right, then go ahead and click in the button there. And it will lead to messaging Holly on Facebook. Get in touch with her. She'll give you more information. This is one of the things that I can't highly like. I'll give you one last story before I end this. We had one gal. We had one gal that actually went to one of our workshops, and she's been to a ton of therapy for I think 15 or 20 plus years. And I'm talking about some of her therapies are like hours and hours in a day just for intense trauma. And I remember she was telling us that she couldn't she was on a cane going to the workshop, and she also could not go to the grocery store. She couldn't go in a grocery store for more than like a few minutes because she would go down one aisle and she would get hit by a lot of anxiety, a lot of absorbing a lot of energy, and she would have to go home and she wouldn't be able to finish her groceries. So someone else would have to buy it for her. It was that intense. So she went to a workshop where me and Danny went. Danny's amazing, intuitive, natural, hands-on healer. It took me about 5 to 10 minutes to activate him, and he just like rolled and got a lot of this abilities that was just amazing. One of them is hands-on healing for physical ailments and all these other things, right? So what ended up happening was it was me and Danny leading that workshop. She was there, and we did some activation, did some clearing, did some hands-on healing. We heard from her a few weeks later, and she's like, you know what? With all the techniques and all the tools that I've learned from this specific workshop, she's been able to do the grocery store. She's been able to go to the grocery store and do a full shopping, and she hadn't been able to do that for a long time. And the next time we saw her in an event, she didn't even have a cane. She was walking just fine, and it's one of the things where people in that room saw it, everybody saw it. They saw the difference, and that's one of the things where it's it's the power of energy. It's the power of you. This story, me and Danny chose to activate our gifts and shine our light and use it as a force for good to help others. But me and Danny could very much be you. That can be you in your full power, activating your gifts. You don't know whose life you're going to impact, whose lives you're going to impact. You have no clue. You really don't. But that's the amazing, exciting, and just for me, blissful thing about it. It's I wake up every single day, and that's what I know is I'm changing lives on a daily basis just by being me, just by shining my light, just by existing, right? Because I work on such an energetic level that I can go to the grocery store and I know I'll have an impact on everybody around me because I choose to shine my light and not dim it. I choose to make an impact and not hide. I choose love, not fear, and I choose to courageously do what I'm here to do and not run away from it. Right? And that's my invitation to you is if you feel like you're ready, if you feel called and compelled and pulled to do this some way, shape, or form, join us, right? Join us. It's going to be an amazing journey. Message Holly because I know we do have we're closing tomorrow. It's been open for a while, and we're closing it tomorrow because the remote healing is the actual class itself. The 8-week class is about to start, so I want to make sure that if you're interested, let's get you in here. Join me. Let's activate your gifts. Show you how to unblock all the things that are blocking you, right? Things that are yours, things that might not even be yours. Show you how to do it for other people. It's something that you can do, if you want to do it just for your friends and family, you can do that. Or something you want to do for others professionally, you can do that. There's so many different applications to this. And if you're an existing healer already and you're learning different modalities, gosh, the things that you learn here go hand in hand with a lot of other modalities out there and helps strengthen it and gives you a different dimensionality to it, right? It really does. And the thing here is we go and address things at the root level, meaning to say, if you have this issue and this issue and this issue and this issue, I think about it as seeds and there's a root, right? And then when you water that, it's it grows, and the next thing you have branches, and then you have fruits, and the next thing you know, you might have dozens or hundreds of fruits, right? And people address things on the fruit and branches level, and when that happens, it's it's never ending amount of problems to solve. Whereas when we're working on the energetic level and with the system, we look for where is the root, where is that seed, where did it all begin? Because once you shift that seed and you work on the root, the core of where it all began, then you're shifting dozens, if not hundreds of problems and issues at one given point when you address that one core thing. And that's what we do. That's why it's so efficient. People get results fast. And it's life-changing because that's our approach. That is our approach to everything that we do. So if you're interested, join us. And I can't wait to change the world with all of you. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully you shine your light. I love you all. See you in the next video.